Macbeth is a movie about Macbeth and his wife, Lady Macbeth. Macbeth is driven to become king after some prophecies three witches gave him. They told him that he will become Thane of Cawdor and King of Scotland, and when the first prophecy comes true, Macbeth seeks the other one even more. But nevertheless, it soon becomes clear to him that he cannot have the throne unless he kills the current king Duncan. And with encouragement from his wife, he kills him and they become king and queen, but it has its consequences. In the first part of the movie, we meet with the soldier and the warrior Macbeth. He's a well-respected man in Scotland, derivable from the scene where Duncan, now former King of Scotland, honors him. And one of the first glimpses of Macbeth that we get is from the battlefield, and we get the impression that he is a courageous and strong character in the movie, because he does not seem scared, among other things. And his face is prepared for war, and his mind surprisingly calm, which we see when he kills women and children later on in the movie. So even though we get this impression of him at first sight, we become aware that he is very insensitive later on. And the titles, Thane of Cawdor and King of Scotland, it brings him great ambitions in life, but it also creates a hunger for power, and this is where we truly see his insensitive side. At first, Macbeth is unsure if killing Duncan is the right thing to do, but Lady Macbeth talks him into it by telling him that only that way he can become a real man. And he then kills Duncan in his sleep, and afterwards he becomes more and more unstable. And Macbeth becomes weak and vindictive after his first assassination, and his guilt is deeply ingrained in him, while his wife always tells him that what's done cannot be undone. And now he wants to secure his throne, and he does this by killing the ones that threatens it. For an example, he kills one of his friends from the battlefield, Banquo, and after this murder he loses himself. He sees Banquo's ghost appearing while he hosts a dinner for some of his so-called friends, and Banquo is a symbol of Macbeth's greediness for power and what he will do to get it. He has some kind of his subconsciousness playing with him at the dinner, trying to tell him to stop what he's doing, and that it is wrong. And this shows that Macbeth is not as strong as he thought he was. In the scene, his subjects also call him sick and start questioning him as a leader and king, and he's now almost mentally ill. When things finally fall apart for him in the end, we see him as a relief man. He returns to one of the places where he had really been successful, the battlefield. The composition is therefore also home away home. In the beginning he is at the battlefield, whereupon he is out serving as king, and in the end back at the battlefield again, fighting with Macduff, whose children and wife Macbeth has killed. He's back where he started, and in this place he feels at home, but he has also become wiser, because he knows now that he is not immortal. And one of the main themes in the movie is war, which is reflected by the many war scenes with Macbeth as main character. Another theme is power seeking, which is illustrated by the way Macbeth plots a series of murders to secure his throne. And this hunger, it makes him impossible to stop because he loves this power that he has as king. And furthermore, a theme is faith. Macbeth trusts the three witches so much that he begins to think that their statements truly are his faith. And these two pictures here, they show Macbeth's development throughout the movie. At first we see him as powerful and strong and courageous, and later on when he becomes king we see sickness in his eyes, and we get the impression that he is drained.